Good morning and welcome. Today I wanted to go over my two favorite pieces in my watch collection, and that's going to be the Bulova Super Seville. I know that homage watches can be quite a contentious topic among watch collectors and enthusiasts, but any real watch enthusiast is going to tell you the same thing: buy what you like. So that is exactly what I did. I didn't even know these existed for a very long time, but a few years ago I was scrolling through one of the Facebook watch groups and stumbled across one and immediately knew that I had to have it. Now, the Rolex Datejust and Day Date, they're probably the most homaged watches in history. There's a lot of them available, and most of them are pretty poor quality. Chinese made knockoffs, things like that. You can get decent quality Japanese ones like the Orient President. Great watch, but I wanted something a little bit different. And arguably the Bulova Super Seville is the best execution when it comes to homaging the Datejust and the Day Date. So I figured that was the one I was going to go with. As far as specs, these are 36 millimeter, just like the classic sizing of the Rolex President. And they're actually Swiss made. They actually have an ETA movement, 17 joules at 28,800 beats per hour, which to me matters. I want that smooth sweep. It's shallow, but it matters to me. Now, they normally came with an acrylic crystal because they are by no means new watches. They're not available anymore. They actually only made them throughout the 70s and I believe until the mid 90s. But I don't know, I like having old things that are difficult to get, and these are definitely more difficult to get. The only place I've actually found them available for sale is going to be on eBay. So these ones I did have, well, I made sure that I got ones that had the crystal replaced with sapphire. That's just me. I prefer sapphire. I don't know, I feel more comfortable knowing that it's going to be much more difficult to scratch. So that's what I went with. So let's look at this red one. I bought this for myself for Christmas 2 years ago. When you get older, you tend to buy your own Christmas gifts, in my experience, but you always get what you want. And this is exactly what I wanted. So they do have repainted dials. It's more difficult to find a decent quality original dial, and you're pretty limited on colors. A lot of people have them and have had them repainted, so that doesn't really bother me too much. It's not a Rolex President, so you're not diminishing the value of a wildly expensive watch. So that doesn't really affect me. This one does not have the original bracelet. I wanted a solid end link bracelet, so I went ahead and ordered one. It's not signed or anything with Bulova. The crown is signed Bulova, so the case is original, crown's original. Yeah, it just is exactly the way I wanted it. So fluted bezel, really nice quality. These were available in stainless steel, gold plated, and then the two-tone. I would love to have gold, but I refuse to buy a gold plated watch because inevitably you're going to get wear on the gold plating and it's going to look like trash. I don't want that. These are actually daily drivers for me. I wear them constantly, kind of obsessed a little bit with them. And it's gotten to the point where I intend on collecting many more variants of the Super Seville. So it's just really grown on me. Like I said, I bought this one 2 years ago. I wear it so often that I decided I needed another one. So I had been looking at this green one for quite a while on eBay, praying that nobody bought it. And eventually my wife this year ended up buying it for me for Christmas. It was not cheap. Unfortunately, the Super Seville has gone up in price substantially over the years. They used to be available in the 200s. They are quite a bit more now. I believe for the red one, I paid around 600. And then when I sent it to Texas to get a full service done on it, that was a bit more pricey. I got it done at Crown and Caliber. They did a fantastic job, so I would thoroughly encourage you have a look at them if you need to have your watch serviced. So this green one is really, really nice. The bezel is obviously aftermarket. It's lab-grown diamond, and it's just, I like flashy things. As far as the crown, it is also signed, and the bracelet is all original. It is a signed clasp, so big fan of that. There was a couple bits of information I had a really hard time finding, so I'd like to share them. Yes, the Super Seville was available at times with both the flat end link version and the curved end link version. Now, whenever I look at pictures of the flat end link version on eBay, I was always, hesitant, because if you look at it from the face, it looks like there's massive gaps in your end links, like they're old and worn, but that's actually not the case. It's actually a pretty flush fit. It's just the way it looks because of the end link styling. So I was hesitant, but I am very, very pleased. This one was repainted kind of an emerald or deep green. Still has the sunburst style like the original ones did. Big fan. As far as the movements, the ETA is nice because the day and the date snap at midnight perfectly. Unlike a lot of the other versions and other cheaper movements where it's around 11 o'clock it starts to change and then snaps. So it just makes me feel classier than I actually am. So that's, whatever. Another thing I noticed is there are two different case backs you'll find on the Bulovas. My red one has the Bulova Goddess of Time case back, which is much less common to find, pretty unique, and I don't know, it's pretty neat. The other case back you'll find is going to be your standard Bulova case back. So nothing special, but still pretty nice. These watches are from 1979, both of them. The way you can tell is your watch is going to say a letter and a number. So N designates the 70s, they skipped O and went to P for the 80s. So these both have N9 on the movement. And the movements are really good looking too. I am a huge fan of this watch from top to bottom. I really see nothing wrong with them. They both excite me every time I put them on. So not a single negative thing to say from my perspective. Other opinions may vary, but that's what they are, their opinions. You can see a slight difference from the original bracelet to the aftermarket. The original has a little bit more shine on it in the center, but tomato. I still need to get more now. I'm looking to get a blue one, a white one, a black one, a silver one. And I actually recently saw one that had a gold bezel and then a blue dial and then just plain stainless for the bracelet. I gotta say, it was absolutely beautiful, and I might actually go that route on my next one. Again, I know homage watches are quite contentious, so anybody in the comments section who's butthurt, let me make it a little bit worse with my Squale GMT 154530 Atmos. I know that's bugging the hell out of you. What else is there to say about them? They're beautiful, they're incredibly reliable, they keep fantastic time, especially being from the late 70s. That is impressive to me. They're both automatic mechanical watches, so if you know watches and they wind as you wear them. They also have hacking movements, so when you pull the crown out, the second hand stops. If you're absolutely obsessed with getting your time set exactly, which for some OCD ADHD reason I am, then it's a good route to go. If you do like the Datejust style, like I said, there's other ones available. You can get the Oceanographer 333, which is difficult to find. And then as far as the Super Seville, they also make the Super Seville calendar, which only has the date. Both great options, but I like the date complication myself. So 36 millimeter, they wear on the wrist to me the way that I like. I don't like watches that are massive, like the Invictus, for example. Very contentious for several reasons, but I can't roll with a watch dial that's as big as the top of my hand. That's absurd to me. But again, buy what you like. Everything's opinions. So as far as information that I had a hard time finding, there's the type of end link also, the names, curved and I believe these are flat end links. So if you're looking for a replacement bracelet, they're there. The flat end link replacement bracelets were much harder to find. I did find some, but I love the idea of having the original bracelet from 1979 on it. So if you have any thoughts or opinions, even if they're negative opinions, please feel free to share. I am interested in hearing what you think. It's not going to change my opinion because I am still hopelessly obsessed with these watches, and I don't intend on selling them at all. I intend on buying more. In fact, I might actually shift to just collecting old Super Sevilles. So, I don't know. When I find something I like, I tend to go full bore on it. So if you have any questions in the comments section, please feel free to ask them. I will get back to you promptly. And have a nice day.